Good morning Year 4, it is Tuesday the 2nd of March and today we are going to be describing the movement of a shape. Right, now let's think about our vocabulary for this lesson. There's going to be this new word that you may not have come across before called translation. Okay, when we move shapes in the way that I'm going to show you, it's called translation. I want you to try and remember that by the end of the lesson. Okay, let's look at our in focus task. Our in focus task says describe how the blue triangle can move into each of these three positions. Okay, so we've got the blue triangle here. We need to describe how it's gone to here, how it's gone to here, and how it's gone to here. And we can't just say it's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone there, it's gone there. We've got to be quite precise and we've got to use mathematical terminology. Okay, so let me see. We'll have a look at how we're going to do it. Right, so let's start by thinking about, there's the blue triangle, and we want to describe the movement so that it's now where the red triangle is. The blue triangle is there. So the little boy is saying it moves up by 4 units. Watch carefully. This is the bottom of the triangle here. Okay, let's count the units. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bottom of the triangle is there, so it's moved 4. If you look at the top of the triangle, put your finger on the top of the triangle, has it moved 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it has. Okay, so we say it's moved up by 4 units. Let's look at this one. This is a little bit harder. It says describe the movement. So this little girl's thinking in her head, it does not turn. So we're thinking about the blue one again, remember? The blue one has moved to here and been coloured green. It's the same triangle though. It does not turn, because if it turned, it would look like that. It does not flip. So if it was symmetrically flipped over, like we've been doing a bit of work on symmetry, it would look like that. So here's the key word that we're going to be learning. It says this movement is called a translation. We say that the triangle, blue triangle, translates. Blue triangle translates 4 units to the left. Translate, move across, okay? Or move somewhere. So let's check that it's 4 units across. There's the corner of the triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's moved. It's translated 4 units. Okay? So just to be aware that we're not talking about turning. And we're not talking about flipping shapes. We don't do that when we translate. We just pick it up and we move it. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to talk about this and I want you to just have a little pause and have a go yourself. This is the guided practice. So it says describe the translation that you can get a person from one place to another. So just so that we know, on our map here, we've got C, A, M and P. C is the cathedral, big church. A is the ancient ruins. P is a palace and M is a museum. Now this must be a city centre, because you often find buildings like that in the middle of a city centre. It's part of a map from a city centre. So the question says describe the translation, the movement that can get a person from one place to another. So you've got to get from the cathedral to the ancient ruins. So what have you done to go from the cathedral to the ancient ruins? The palace to the ancient ruins, the palace to the museum, the cathedral to the palace, and the museum to the ancient ruins. You can pause the video and have a little go right now, and then I'll give you the answers. Okay, so I'm hoping you had a little go at that. So from the cathedral to the ancient ruins, it says 2 units to the right. Cathedral, 2 units to the right. 1, 2. Yes, it is, isn't it? You need to know your right and left for this, children, definitely. The palace to the ancient ruins. There's the palace. And we're going to go to the ancient ruins. We've gone 1 unit up. There to there. 1 up. This time we're going to go palace to the museum. There's the palace. We've got to go there. So it's 1 unit again. Which way? That's right, 1 unit left. Next one, cathedral to the palace. Cathedral, and we want to get there. Now that's a bit harder. Let's have a think. We're going to go 1 unit down and 2 units across to the right. Or you could have gone 2 units right and then 1 down. That would have been fine as well. Doesn't matter which way round for that one. Museum to the ancient ruins. There's the museum. There's the ancient ruins. So we can't ever go diagonally like that, children, with these translations. You've got to follow the grid. So we need to go 1 unit to the right and 1 up. Okay, I hope you got those right. Now, when it's just a point like that, it's quite easy, but I always think it's a little bit harder when you're given a shape to translate. And if you look back at the learning objective today, we are actually trying to translate and move shapes. So the little girl says, describe how this shape, the yellow, orange, blue, that's almost like multi-link, isn't it, that have been put on a grid, moves so that the red square ends up here. So this ends up here, okay? Show where this ends up after each of the other translations as well. So what have we done to make this red one end up here? Let's have a look at our answers, okay? So we're saying 4 units right and 3 up. Let's check. 4 units right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 up. 1, 2, 3, and it's there, okay? The next one, A says there, moves up by 3 units. So you go back to the original, okay? Move that one up by 3 units. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be up there. Can you see here? Like this one here, okay? B says move to the right by 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be there. Can you see the answer? C says move to the left by 2 units. There's our original. We go back to that one. Move it to the left by 2 units. Watch. 1, 2. It's going to be there. Okay. Those are just the answers on there. Right, so your task on Teams is very similar to what we've just been talking about. You're going to start with some points, and it says describe the movements from point A to point B. Yeah, A translates so many units to the right and then so many units upwards. And then it asks you from B to C. And then the following page will ask you the other ones as well. Okay, and you just have to make sure you put your finger on the point and you translate it and use the corner of the little squares on the grid to make sure that your translation is accurate. Now I've set you a little challenge. It says Ron translates the point 2, 3. So remember, we've done coordinates already. So 2, 3 is there. But he realises it has returned to the same position, right? What translation did he do? So he has translated that from there and he's landed back there. Ooh, now, is there more than one answer? Okay, now that's something to think about. We'll maybe have a think about that next lesson, but I'd like you to have a go at that because it will really get your mind ticking over. Remember, you can upload your work on Teams or you can email me. And don't forget 15 or 20 minutes on TT because our school challenge is still on for moving us up that local school ladder, boys and girls. So make sure you get yourself on TT and get some accurate answers on there. 15, 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer if you can afford the time. And have fun with that, and I'll see you next lesson. Thank you. Goodbye.